Hey Pisces, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the monthly general tarot reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There's a part 2 over on Patreon. You can also find part 2 on Vimeo. Links are below for your convenience, okay? I do these about once every 30 days or so, just depending on what's going on with my energy. I like to do readings when I'm in the best energy to do them. So that's why it's about every 30 days or so, just so you guys know. These are timeless, these are general. I'm picking up on your field, so I'd be talking about somebody else in your field or someone you know. Of course, if there's multiple people, the roles can be reversed or switched around, okay? All right, Pisces, enough spiel. Let's go ahead and get into it. A couple things that were coming up as I was getting into your energy, I felt like I really needed to like ground out my space to do your reading. Like I was already feeling pretty grounded, but then it was like, oh no, I need to be on the floor grounded. And like I did a whole thing and I got out my candles and I got out my incense and I did breath work and it was like, okay, we're in the container, Pisces. Like we're good to go. Some of you might be feeling the need to really ground out your life or ground yourself out to really be down deep in like it's a cozy feeling though. It's not just being in your body. It's not just being really rooted in the earth. Like that's part of it, but it's this feeling of being very cozy and supported and nurtured, like almost very Cancerian like, but in an earthy way, but not as rough as or how do I want to say, not as Saturnian as Capricorn. So it's like, I guess midpoint between Cancer and Capricorn now that I think about it. Oh, excuse me. The new moon in excuse me, energy. The new moon in Cancer could have been bringing this up for you, Pisces. So that's definitely something that I was feeling. I also was getting the horse. They were showing me horses running, actually. You could resonate with the horse. It could be an animal guardian for you, but horse energy is about freedom. It's about freedom, it's about stamina, it's about independence, it can even be about travel. It's also an energy of integrity as well. It's horse energy is very powerful. It's to me, I actually feel it can be akin to the buffalo. Like buffalo can be this very striking energy, this very much like like thunder kind of energy is like what can come with buffalo. And I was kind of feeling that a little bit. So on one hand, I feel this like needing to be grounded and cozy and comforted and like taken care of. But then I also can see that there's a journeying sort of energy with the horse with you, like either a need to travel or a need to go, and maybe you haven't been doing thunder. Interesting. Monsoon season is here finally, so every afternoon we kind of get some thundering and lightning and whatnot. But anyway, Pisces, this feels like it's very important to your reading. I actually feel very drawn now to like change up the decks I was going to use for you. I feel like you're going to have a long reading. You probably already know how long it is, but yeah. So there's this. I can see it. Like there's this need for you to like travel or move or expand or go, but then there's like cozy, cozy, cozy. Comforted home. It also has this feeling of home. Like I keep wanting to like hug myself. I feel like you can have both. Some of you might be learning to find this cozy, comforted, homey feeling within the self so you can actually take up more space or travel or move or go and be more active, but like you can maintain this cozy feeling just within you, right? Yeah, I need my native spirit deck. Hold on. It's like a bunch of decks just called to me that are not present. So give me 1 second. Okay. This one. I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like I have another deck. Maybe I don't actually have another deck. Oh my god, I grabbed the wrong one. Hold on, sorry. Oh. You know what? There's a deck calling me that I don't have anymore. That's unfortunate. I lost it in the move to Hawaii a couple of years ago, and I never replaced it. And it's funny because that deck has actually been calling me back, so maybe I just need to buy it again. It's a shamanic deck. It was actually one of the first decks I ever had, which is why I was so devastated when it was gone. I want to work with that deck for your reading, but I don't have it. So we're going to work with what we have. Yeah, we're going to start with the native spirit deck. Let's start with this one for my Pisceans. You could be feeling like the land is calling you, or that thank you, ancestors are calling you, because like this horse energy, I keep feeling like it's a call. Like, it's time, Pisces. It's time to go. It's time to see this. It's time to do that. Like, it's time, it's time, it's time. It feels so spiritual. Like when I say that, I mean like it literally feels like your ancestors are calling you, or it's time. It's time for the next chapter. That's also very collective right now too, but for you, I feel like it's literally the pull of your ancestors, or like the land itself is calling you. You could resonate with various native cultures. There's, oh my god, I literally just saw the horse. Horse be running. Oh, Pisces, I'm excited for you. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Any messages or insights from my Pisceans? You are Pisces. You're very intuitive. So if anyone's going to hear the call, you're going to hear it. You're going to pick up on that. You're going to intuit that. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Yeah, I gotta stop. I feel mediumship. I do. I feel mediumship. I feel ancestors trying to talk to you, trying to call you, trying to guide you. I also want to say communing is something that would really benefit you. You might even feel drawn to just do that, like to literally sit in a calm, sacred, safe container to connect, to talk, to speak with certain spirits. It's very like high priestess, medium. Oh my god, starting to rain. Yeah. Can you guys hear it? It's starting to pick up a little bit. Any messages or insights for Pisces? You could be being called to the water or to like literally cold weather, like watery, cold, gloomy sort of a space. I mean, the weather just shifted, but even as I was like rounding out my space for you, it's like I wanted to grab coffee, I wanted my candles, I wanted my hoodie, like, you know, things that would kind of go hand in hand with like colder weather or wet weather. Anything else for Pisceans? Any messages or insights for Pisces? Medicine bag. Okay. Medicine bag comes out when there's a need to pay attention to your energy field. This usually speaks to protecting oneself, protecting your energy field. We make medicine bags for various things, right? It's not just for protection. We can use them for money, for love, for healing. But for you, I'm feeling like this call to your own energy, again, to pull it within, be cozy, be nurtured, be safe, Cancer, mother, protected in that kind, like almost putting yourself in an egg is like how I feel like you're feeling right now. So I feel like medicine bag is just calling your attention to the need for that. But I keep getting like medicine bag for travel. Sorry, Pisces, I can't get away from this travel energy with you. You could also be in the form of travel. You could actually be astraling a lot, or you could be very active in dream time. If so, either way, I would really recommend, it doesn't have to be a medicine bag. It could even be a talisman or a crystal or a picture of an ancestor, because I keep getting this mediumship with you. Oh man, that call is like so... That call is so strong. It's interesting too, because I feel like some of you might have been distracting yourself a lot, or have had too many distractions to even hear this call. But like once you hear it and feel it, you just want to feed it. Excuse me, you just want to live in it. But anyway, whether you're actually going to be traveling or it's a whole lot of like astral travel, I would really recommend getting something sacred to you, whether you want to make a medicine bag or you want to use herbs or a talisman or crystals or, again, pictures of your ancestors to just keep close to you, to keep this cozy, safe, I'm actually hearing sanctioned, interesting, energy for yourself, okay? Storyteller. I'm getting, there's a lot of family vibes with you. Almost called you Cancer, Pisces. I think this is really having to do with whatever the new moon in Cancer brought for you, or again, you could have Cancer in your chart, you could be dealing with the Cancer, but I keep getting strong ancestor stuff. I keep getting strong family and like spirits and mediumship. I keep getting all of those. Storyteller really feels ancestral to me. Storyteller comes out when it's when what is being highlighted for us to look at is what we tell ourselves, our own narratives about ourselves and about our life, and even like our thoughts and our words and how we're using that to co-create whatever reality we are living in, which is the story we are creating for ourselves, right? They keep telling me about this. It's like it's time to go, or it's time to do, or it's time to move, or it's time to travel. Like again, the running horses, right? It kind of has like an 8 of Cups energy to it. It's time for a new story, Pisces. It's time to confront. Getting a bit of a confronting energy with that. It's time to examine and reflect on your story and do some editing. Yeah, and do some editing. But I keep feeling this need to feel safe, to feel grounded, to feel protected, to feel like you're in a safe space to do this. And that might be part of what needs to be edited, Pisces. Maybe there's a big chunk of you that struggles to feel safe. Cancer is all about emotional security, which is also why it's associated with like mother energy. There's all other stuff going on with Cancer too, but that's what I'm getting with you. It's time to edit your reality. It's time to edit your story. And to do this, it feels like there's confronting anything you feel when it comes to emotional insecurity. And maybe how you don't feel at home within yourself potentially, or how you don't feel emotionally like safe even within yourself, or to change your story. Maybe you haven't done any revisions with your story because there could be some ancestral stuff that has been holding you back that kind of feeds that emotional insecurity. Interesting. All right, let's see what else wants to come out here. God, the vibes. Can you feel it? Okay, if you guys can feel these vibes, please comment below. I just feel this like surrounded by coziness, surrounded by spirits, like in a way. Yeah. Like being hugged by my spirit team. Like that's how this feels right now. Yep, there it is. Sweat Lodge. Clear, clear, clear. Yeah. So Pisces, some of you, this is straight up ancestral healing and clearing that is trying to happen, wants to happen, as relates to your story, your family's story, maybe even karmically some past stories of your past lives that have contributed to how you live your life now that maybe it's time to evolve out of, to rewrite some stuff, to be more free in that horse energy, because I keep getting the 8 of Cups. Sweat Lodge, for those of you guys who don't know, it is literally purging, purification, cleansing, clearing. Yeah, so that's what we're working with right now, Pisces. The reality you're living in and the story that you live by, potentially even your family story, your ancestral story, it can feel a little confronting because I keep getting a little twinge of that. It can feel a little confronting. All right, let's move on. Probably should have done this one first, arguably, but the Native Spirit deck was like, choose me. It's like, okay, but we're going to do this one. Any messages or insights for Pisces pertaining to this spread? Watch the mediumship card come out. It'd be so interesting. I feel like that's what's going on with Storyteller. It's like literally gathering with ancestors and spirits to confront, acknowledge, release, and rewrite. Explore your creative side. Freedom, right? This is freedom to play, freedom to create, inspiration, passion, muse-like energy. Again, I feel this encouragement to go and do, go and act, go and move, go and travel, go and experience. But again, attached to medicine bag. You might not feel free to do this. There's a part of you that potentially feels restricted to do this or doesn't feel totally safe to do this, but that's why medicine bag is coming in here, right? To say like there are ways where you can evoke that feeling of safety within and potentially needing to learn to do that. And if you need to do some ancestral clearing to break through some self-limiting beliefs to do that, then by all means do that. But you're being called to go. Being called to go. Actually, I'm gonna put that like that. There we go. Anything else for Pisces? If there are some like projects or ideas that you have that you really do want to bring to life, I also feel this encouragement to maybe keep it on the down low until you're really it's like strong enough and rooted in its own little foundation to be shared, right? Anything else for Pisces? Oh, what is this about the stars? Pisces, I love you. Some of you keep getting drawn to certain stars in the sky. I'm going to say objects. Celestial objects in the sky. I would really suggest getting one of those like star tracker maps and just seeing what they are. I feel like there's like literally two, maybe one or two that are like calling out to you. There's a reason. So, you know, there's that. There's that. Oh, that's too many. Can I get less cards, please? See, spitting cards at me. Can I just get one? Can I get one for storyteller? Pisces. Yep, back to basics. Simplify, reduce, center, ground. Grounding shit out. Clearing things out. Coming in with storyteller. It's taking stock, right? It's kind of like the harvest energy a little bit that I was channeling for the weekly that I did. What's today? The 25th. So whenever this actually posts to YouTube, I don't know exactly when I'm gonna post this to YouTube, but patrons, obviously, you already have it. But anyway, so I did the weekly. It's called It's Harvest Time. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting there with the back to basics. It's like really reflecting and acknowledging the reality you're living in, the life that you have, excuse me, the life that you have, and what that story is to you, what those labels are to you, what your identity is, like everything, right? And like how that came to be, especially as you reflect on the story of your family. Your origin story is actually what they're telling me, your origin story, right? How much of that do you really need to be thinking about? How much of that do you really need to keep carrying with you? How much of that can be cleared out and rewritten, like have served its purpose, and maybe now at one point, right, where it's like, okay, now this just holds back, right? Now this is just restrictive. Now it's like having like chains on my ankles. Like, let's clear that out. Let's see this differently. Let's take a new perspective on this, right? It's interesting too. I never noticed like how he's hanging back, like way behind the group. Oh my God, I'm like really behind on your reading. It's already 20 minutes. This is what happens when I get in the mode. I just talk forever. It's how my readings end up being so long. But anyway, you see how he's like really hanging back there? It's really taking stock of you in the grand scheme of your lineage and your ancestral story. And being very honest with yourself about it. On like how much of this has just kept me in our ancestral shit versus allowing me to be an individual, right? Let's move on to Sweat Lodge. But really ground. Okay, this is a card of saying like ground your shit. Ground yourself. Ground yourself. Can I get one more, please, for Pisces? Ooh, wow. Begin writing now. I didn't expect that. Create, express, inspire. Again, another card of creation. This is obviously more scribe-like, like literally journaling or writing. It could even be through voice. It doesn't have to be like something that's like written down or published, right? It could even be like making content. But this is coming in with Sweat Lodge. Part of what can help you release from these stories, from these cycles, these limiting beliefs that are rooted in ancestral stuff, because I keep just getting it's rooted in ancestral stuff. Part of what can help with that is journaling or literally just sharing your story, right? Like sharing your story and allowing it to not continue to be part of your story anymore. Like speaking to whatever happened to you or what your experience has been as that. Like, this is who I was. This is what my family endured. This is where we are now. This is who I am now. This is what is possible now. You know what I mean? Words are very powerful. I'm also feeling that too, like spells. Being very intentional about the spells you're creating about your reality and actually intentionally using that. This is like such a spiritual read. And intentionally using that to rewrite, to liberate yourself, to cleanse, to purify. I'm trying to think of an example. Like instead of speaking to your past experiences, right? Like when you're talking to people, or instead of like living your life and thinking about the past or thinking about like what you can't do because A, B, C, D, because my family did this, my family didn't do that, or whatever. It's like the way that you think of your life as restricting or limiting or rooted in the past, instead of that, shifting it to what is possible, shifting it to just the present, speaking to only the present, speaking only to what is possible, speaking to only what you can bring in, and like not even acknowledging the past at all. Like even just taking, like playing with that a little bit with your spells, I think is really important. But I am getting strong journaling with this. Journaling or even art, like art therapy could be really good for this. Like getting it out of your soul and putting it onto a canvas, or getting it out of your soul and putting it onto paper, right? If you are going to keep a journal or you're going to write this stuff down, I really recommend considering, not saying you have to, I'm just saying something to consider, burning it when you're done. It can just help facilitate this releasing and letting go. Okay? All right. Where are we going at 23 minutes? I'm tempted to just go into part 2 right here. I just don't want this to be super long. Yeah, I'm gonna go into part 2. So Pisces, this is looking like to me that you're in a point excuse me, you're in a point of your life or your journey, we'll say your journey, where it's time to revise some things. It's time to do some ancestral clearing. It's time to revise your narrative about life, about yourself, in a way where you can liberate yourself. And like to do that, you're clearly taking a moment to take stock, words, to take stock of where you're at and what your life truly encompasses, even on a spiritual and emotional level and a mental level at that. Like not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And it's almost like you need to do a little bit of getting back to yourself, like clearing out the shit that actually doesn't have anything to do with you, like the frivolous adulting and what other people got going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like clear all that shit out, get back to yourself and recognize, reflect, even if you're communing with spirits in order to do this kind of a thing. Because again, I was getting a little bit of that mediumship. What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel taken care of? How can you be the freedom horse, right? How can you be free? How can you move on to the next in a way that makes you feel safe and that you can express yourself? What clearing do you got to do to make that happen? especially when it comes to ancestral stuff. Okay. All right. Moving on to part 2. If this is where you are leaving us, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you are going to part 2, I'll see you soon. Take care, Pisces.